what's up YouTube? For today's video, we're the 4 highest special defense stat Pokemon team for Generation 9. This is the final stat we were going to cover for all the Generation 9 Pokemon that are non-legendary. So I went through the list and picked the highest 6 special defensive stat Pokemon, and I put them onto one team. Once again, there are no legendary Pokemon included in this. However, I did include Paradox in these as well. I've got 3 battles and I hope you enjoy. First battle, this one is against Little, and this one was on the Poke Portal, and we got a Lycanroc lead. If you want to support the channel, people, make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment below there, tell me how you thought of the battles in the video, and let's get into it. We got a interesting set here. We got a physical Toedscruel set. It is a Tickle, Bullet Seed, Knockoff, and Terra Blast ground set. Now, interestingly enough here, the Lycanroc is going to go for a Substitute. This is going to be a really good chance to go for the Bullet Seed. Now, I've got the item as Loaded Dice. We've got Mycelium Midas ability, of course, and we've got Max Attack and Max Speed Adamant Nature. Now, I've got the nicknames of the Pokemon. I always do this. I give them the nicknames of this special defensive zone. So, Toedscruel has a 120 base special defense. So Lycanroc is going to get absolutely wrecked there, and out comes a shiny green Pickle Knight, and I have to get rid of this real quick. Now, Dragonite's going to go for an Ice Beam, and the funny thing here, right, on my Toedscruel, it was 4 times weak to an Ice Beam, but due to its high special defensive stat, it actually managed to live, which is really cool. So we're going to go into our next Pokemon, and that is going to be 110 special defensive Pokemon, the Iron Moth. Now, with this Dragonite, I might be up against a real trolley set here because they're going to go for a Thunder Wave. So this moveset was Fire Spin, Lunge, Confuse Ray, and Morning Sun. The item is going to be Grip Claw. What Grip Claw does, it's going to make the Fire Spin last 7 turns instead of 4 to 5. So, you know, you're really trying to trap the opponent in here and, you know, get a little bit of damage off with Lunge and, you know, go for a Morning Scum there and heal yourself all the way back up. So this Dragonite actually was hitting itself a couple of times to Confusion. Now, Lunge was really there for any physical attackers. It didn't really work so well with Confusion because, you know, you're dropping the opponent's attack, but, you know, it was still good for stalling around and, you know, getting some good damage. Unfortunately, this Dragonite is going to have Roost, and it's going to be healing itself off. So I was like, all right, well, you know, 2 can play at that game. I can go for Morning Scum as well. Obviously, Dragonite was a flinching Thunder Wave set, and they actually never got one at all there, which is a little bit unlucky. I'm going to go for Morning Sun and heal all the way up. Now, Dragonite cannot swap out at the moment because it's still trapped in. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go for a Confuse Ray again, and now I'm going to swap into the next Pokemon. The EVs on my Iron Moth were Max Health, that needed bulk, was very handy, and I also gave it Timid Nature as well, I believe. Yeah, sorry, Jolly Nature on the Iron Moth there. It didn't really matter because, like, they weren't really damaging. I wasn't really going for damage. I was going for, like, you know, the damage of Fire Spin. So we're going to go into our next Pokemon, Screamtail. So Screamtail has 115 base special defense. And, yeah, this is a good idea. Let's see if you can guess the last 3 Pokemon on my team right now. So maybe pause the video or drop a comment below, see if you can, you know, think of the next 3. So we're going to go into our Screamtail here. This is actually a pretty cool set. I'm going to explain it a little bit more in a bit because the Lucario came in after I took Dragonite out. So I'm a little bit scared of that. Now, this Lucario is going to go for a Sword Dance, and they're going to go for a Terra. So like, I wonder what this Lucario set could be. It is going to be a Terra normal Lucario. So virtually, this is sort of like I guess you could say a poor man's Dragonite with the Extreme Speed sort of set there, but it's still very deadly with Terra Normal and Extreme Speed. So I'm going to be swapping that out and going into my Fluttermane here. So Fluttermane is a Fake Tears, Draining Kiss, Thunder Wave, Hex set, 135 special defense. Unfortunately, it's going to have Bullet Punch, and that's going to absolutely annihilate me. I was max speed and max special attack Timid Nature then. So now I'm going to go to my next Pokemon, which is going to be Bolivia. So this is 109 base special defense. We've got a physical PIMPNITE special set here. So I've got Facade, Petal Blizzard, Fling with a Toxic Orb, and I've got Protect. Seed Sower is the ability, Max Health and Max Attack Adamant Nature. So here comes the Extreme Speed. I know they're going to use that first. And I know they're never, ever going to be able to expect, like, a facade, but I believe it. I was like, I don't know whether I'm going to be able to live this, you know. This thing is, it's hitting really, really hard. So I'm going to go for a Terra here. I figured that Terra Facade should be enough to take out the Lucario, and now that it's a normal type, it's going to be neutral instead. So I believe his attack stat is actually 69, which is pretty funny. So it's like, this should do some pretty good damage. Anyway, so here comes the Terra Normal Arboliver. I'm really, really hoping that I can actually live this. Here comes the Extreme Speed. I lived on 8 health. You wouldn't read about it. And now the Seed Sower is going to activate, which is great because that's going to enable me to be able to live the next turn if I can take this out, and I do. One little whip there of my Olive Branch, and that is the end of Lucario. You know, I tried to extend the Olive Branch to Lucario, but it didn't want it at all. So we're going to have a little bit of toxic damage, but thanks to the Seed Sower, I was able to live another turn. Next Pokemon is going to be Garchomp. They are setting up a layer of spikes here. So they, okay, well, I went for Facade again, you know. This team was definitely a no-joke team, that's for sure. So Garchomp is obviously a bulky set, and it's going to have rough skin. That's the end of my Bolivia, but, you know, that was amazing. If I didn't have that, I'd say I would have lost to the Sword Dance, Extreme Speed spamming Lucario. Next one is going to be my Screen Tail. This is a really cool set. So I've got Howl and Throat Spray, Psychic Play Rough, and Drain Punch. I've got this as max attack and max special attack with Naive Nature. So Garchomp is going to do no damage at all there with the Earthquake, but it does have Rocky Helmet and Rough Skin. But I absolutely had to go for Play Rough there to take it out. It was way too threatening. So I almost fainted there. I'm going to get a little bit of health back there thanks to the grassy terrain, and out comes the Vaporeon. So I'm just going to go for Psychic here. Psychic really doesn't do too much damage. Like, all right, here's the Acid Armor. So this could possibly be some sort of stalling set, or it could be like a bulky stored power set. Lots of people like to run, you know, the Carmine's, you know, stored power set, and now that, you know, the evolutions do get that. So, you know what, I was like, let's go for Howl. Let's see if I can boost up my stats here, and I got a special attack boost, which is going to be handy. And now they're going to go for another Acid Arm. Like, okay, that's good. I'm guessing they're probably going to maybe have rest. I'm not really sure at this point in the time. So Vaporeon did have leftovers, but, you know, I sort of just cut out all the leftovers healing and the grassy terrain healing because, you know, it took forever and it was really, really stalling and boring. So here comes another Acid Armor here. Psychic actually does pretty good damage after a +1, so now I'm going to be able to hit it pretty hard. So here we're going to go for the Psychic again on the Vaporeon, and good damage. Now Vaporeon's going to go for another Carmine. So, like, okay. Sorry, that's its first Carmine they're going to go for. So they've definitely got Sword Power. So Acid Armor and Carmine. So I'm going to go for another one here. Vaporeon's starting to get on a little bit of low health, and Stored Power is going to take out my Scream Tail. But I've got 2 Pokemon left. I've got the Toedscruel, which can live the incoming spikes. Not very well, but it can live. And I've got one other final Pokemon, and that final Pokemon is going to be my Iron Lee. So this is a fully special set, and I'm going to be able to easily counter this Vaporeon. I bet they're never, ever going to expect this one at all. So the EVs on this are as follows. It's a little bit more involved. We've got Modest Nature, 68 in speed, 252 in special attack, and 188 in health. So I did that so I could get a special attack boost from Quark Drive and have 1 less speed. So it worked out really, really well. So that's the end of the Vaporeon. So in comes the Arcanine here. I'm going to go for a +1 special attack Focus Mist. This is going to do enormous amounts of damage. I'm going to take that really, really well, the Heat Wave, and Focus Mist misses at +1. They were so lucky there. That's another Heat Wave, and unfortunately my Pokemon is going to faint. So that pretty much changed the entire game there. Focus Blast would have almost taken out Arcanine or one-shotted it, depending on what it was. And also, my Toedscruel actually outsped it as well with the knockoff. And they're going to miss the Heat Wave there with Wildlands, but the damage is already done there. That Focus Blast miss changed the entirety, like, course of the battle there. And I actually managed to get quite a few hits there. So I would have won if I landed the Focus Miss, but that's Pokemon for you. Even if you make the correct plays, you can still lose. Thank you to the battle there, Lil. You were very lucky I missed that Focus Blast, and I hope you people enjoyed this first battle. Let's go on to the second battle here. This one is against Grayson. Now, this was an interesting team as well. We've got a masculine lead, so I don't really know what this theme team is about. If anyone knows what it is, let me know about it in the comment section. And we've got an Intimidate. So, like, that sucks because I'm running a physical set. So, firstly, I'm going to get my Toxic Orb up regardless. I don't really know what this set's going to be. It might just be like a typical special set. So, they're going to set up the Sticky Web, which obviously I saw that one coming a mile away. Now I've got the Toxic Orb up. I can still go for Facade, or I could swap it out. I decided to go for Facade anyway, no? So they're going to set the Tailwind up. I went for Facade, and that was pretty good damage still. So that would have, nearly taken it out, I guess, outside of the Intimidate. So they're going to go for Stun Spore. I don't think this thing has any attacking moves. So it's got Stun Spore, Sticky Web, and Tailwind. So I'm assuming it had no attacking moves there at all, no bug moves. So that's why they used that. They sort of ran out of options. And in comes a Survivor. It's called Ips. I don't know what that even means. So that's going to be the end of my Believer credit. I think that one actually mattered because this has a fair bit of bulk to it with max health. But, it is what it is. That's the end of my Believer. I would have done a little bit of damage with Facade there. Next Pokemon here is going to be my Iron Leaf. So I got completely scummed out before. I've got Air Slash on this, and that's about it. I don't really have like a Psychic move. I should have probably put Terra Blast Psychic, but I kind of needed my other move. So here comes a Poison Jab, and that is going to do a lot of damage. I'm going to be going for an Air Slash here. Air Slash gets very, very good damage, but since there is a Sticky Web on the field, I can't try and get that flinch advantage at all. So that's going to be the end of the Iron Leaves there. It saltily faints again. So I need to go to the next Pokemon to get rid of this Survivor, and we're going to go into my Toedscruel. So all of my Pokemon looking at my team are definitely going to get outsped by this. So this time I'm going to go for a Dynamax, a Terra on my Toedscruel. I love to say Dynamax there because I'm so used to it. And we're going to have a Terra Ground. So Terra Ground, Terra Blast is going to do lots because it's going to be stab as well. So I'm going to hit it with the Terra Blast Ground, and that is going to be the end of the Survivor. So that was awesome getting rid of that because, that was powering through my team with Poison Jabs. Next Pokemon is going to be my Survivor. I'm going to go for Terra Blast again. I outsped, which is pretty cool. And that does a lot of damage, and that's the end of the Gamma. Maybe? Okay, maybe I've got a little bit of an idea this time. I'm not really sure. All right, out comes the next Survivor. I don't know why, but it was a team of Mascarin and 5 Survivors. I'm not sure what this means or what the reference is, but if someone gets this, let me know. Maybe it's snakes on a plane because, I don't know, the Mascarin's the plane. So we got a Terra Dragon Survivor going for an Ice Fang, and I'm going to actually live that one nicely and go for Terra Blast. The Survivor actually managed to live, and it's going to take me out with a Terra Blast Dragon. So that is going to be the end of the Toedscruel there. So I've still got 3 more Pokemon left on my team. Things are looking all right at the moment. We're going to go into the Iron Moth now. Iron Moth should be able to take this out with, even a lunge should be enough, So go for that lunge, and that is the end of the Survivor. So good stuff getting rid of that. A Dragon Survivor. Interesting. So next Pokemon is going to be Survivor again, and I'm going to probably try and go for Fire Spin. So it's going to go for Glare. My move is going to miss, and of course, I am now paralyzed. So I was kind of curious what this set would be because it's going to go for Acid Spray, dropping my special defense. But, I'm able to resist that really, really well. So I'm going to be going for this Fire Spin here. It's not really doing a lot of damage, but, it's going to sort of rack up over time. So maybe I'll be able to, get it down to a low amount of health and then go for Morning Sun to heal back up. So I thought it'd be a good idea to go for Confuse Ray here. So I can stall it out a little bit. Maybe, maybe Survivor will hit itself with Confusion like once or twice, and that'll be enough to, take it out. Because 7, with Fire Spin and 7 turns, that's a long while. And, with its high special attack, it's actually kind of nice. Now, the berry that Survivor was a Citrus Berry. It's going to use Bell to that's going to do a lot of damage. So even though I resisted it, it did take my special defense down a lot with the Acid Spray before. And I was like, yep, I can't really swap into this, So here comes another Belch here. And coming off Survivor's special attack and, negative special defenses, that's going to do a lot of damage. So that's the end of my Iron Moth there. Next one is going to be my Flutter Mane. I was like, well, I can just go for Hex, I guess, here and try and take it out. But firstly, I went for the Thunder Wave. So let's see if I can set up my last Pokemon out. I'm going to paralyze it just in case it doesn't take it out. And I got it paralyzed there, and they're going to go for the Belt. I do have good special defensive bulk, so I'm able to lift that. Shed Skin is going to come into effect. So, like, okay, I had an idea that maybe one of them would have Shed Skin, so I wasn't really sure. Like, it led to, like, the Infiltrator and things like that. So that's going to be the end of this Viper. I probably should have paralyzed. I probably shouldn't have even paralyzed this. I thought, well, maybe this one doesn't have Shed Skin. I'll try and paralyze it and then go for the double damage on Hex. Maybe I can get the paralyze and go for that. So Viper is not going to get paralyzed, and it's going to get a Sword Dance up. Like, oh, all right. And then I got another Shed Skin. I'm like, oh, come on. Shed Skin has a 33% chance to activate too, so it's not exactly what you call high. So I went for the Hex. I got a crit, but it didn't take it out, and then I'm going to fade to a Poison Fang crit. So I was like, wow, this is crazy. So I've got one more Pokeball left, and then I fainted to the Life Orb. So I had one more Pokeball left to send out there, but the Life Orb is going to take out the last Viper for a salty finish there. Thank you, Grayson, for the battle. I don't really know what your team was. Maybe someone can let me know about that in the comment section. So next battle here, this is against Plum Patch, and we've got a bustling, ginormous Spupa. So I'm going to go for Fake Tears here because I'd probably cry as well if I had to use Spupa. And why is it called Armageddon? Anyway, so it's going to go for a String Shot, dropping my speed. So I'm assuming this is some sort of troll set. And I just went for a Fake Tears and I went for a Hex. We've got that swapping out and we've got Miraidon coming in. Why is this called Zoe for? I don't know. Maybe this is some kind of theme team as well. Let me know if you can guess it below in the comment section of the video. So I'm swapping out my Flutter Mane and going to go my Iron Leaves because I got a Quiet Drive boosting my special attack. So now it's going to go for a charge. So I was like, that really sucks because that's actually going to boost up its special defense. And Miraidon is pretty bulky as normally, and I don't exactly have a lot of special attacks. So I'm going to go for Agility here. That's sort of because I have not everything in speed. I've only got 68 in speed. Then the Miraidon's going to go for Mirror Coat. So it's a charged Mirror Coat set. What is going on? So I got some good damage there, and of course I'm landing the Focus Blast against the Mirror Coat Pokemon, but I don't have a lot to do. I thought I'd just get some damage on it. I know that I can live a couple of Mirror Coats. So that's going to be the end of the electricity. My special attack is going to drop. However, Booster Energy is going to activate, and it's going to boost it back up to where it was. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it again. I know they're going to go for Mirror Coat, but at least it's on a small amount of health, So I got a special defense drop there, which is kind of nice too. And now Miraidon is going to eat a berry. So of course, it's going to be a Citrus Berry. So it's going to get its health back now and go for a Thunder Shock. That was very, very disrespectful. So that's going to be the end of my Iron Leaves. The salt levels are, they're starting to build a little bit. Now, my next Pokemon is, believe it, I can go for Protect there, get my Toxic Orb up, and then hit it with a Facade. There's not much you can do. What's it got? Like Charge, Thunder Shock, Mirror Coat. I think that's about it. I can't remember what the other move. Anyway, it did have, obviously it was like a nerfed Miraidon set. So here comes the Thunder Shock here. I like to use Thunder Shock Magnet Miraidon, but real talk, even when you use it against Pokemon, it still does lots of damage. It seriously does. So I'm gonna go for Facade there, and Miraidon lived on 1 health for some reason, which was really, really bad. So now I've got to go ahead and go for another Facade here. Not that Thunder Shock was really doing too much damage to me at all. So I'm going to go for a Fling Toxic Orb there. A little bit of disrespect. That's the first KO I've got with Fling and Toxic Orb coming from a physical Bolivia. Yeah, it's not going to happen very often. It doesn't have a lot of attack. I like how it's got 69 base attack though. Next Pokemon is Milkshake, the early riser. When you get up in the morning, does anyone have a milkshake? You just get out of bed, you fall out of bed, and the first thing you do, you have a milkshake. You just drink it on the floor, The milk's going everywhere, and it tastes so good. So anyway, back to the battle here. I'm going to be fainting to the Toxic Orb, and my Arbolive is, it's done. But it did a pretty good job there. Now, the next Pokemon I'm thinking about bringing in is going to be my Toadstool, because I'm going to benefit from that grassy terrain. Out goes the Milkshake there, and in comes Violence. Why is this jump life called Violence for? So I'm going to be going for the full load of bullet seeds here. They're firing down on my tentacles or my little tentacle part there, and I got a couple hits. I got 4 hits. Now the jump life's going to go for a Sword Dance. They really did. The jump life woke up and chose Violence today. So I'm going to go for a tickle my pickle, and we're going to raise the, drop the attack and defense there of the jump off. So that's going to be kind of handy. They're going to go for another sword dance. I'm going to go for knockoff here, good damage, and it's going to go for acrobatics, and that's the end of my Toadstool. So I tried, but it's going to do a lot of damage there. Next Pokemon is going to be my Iron Moth. I'm going to go for a Fire Spin here, and Fire Spin takes out the Jump Bluff there, which is good. I didn't want to get hit by Acrobatics, so obviously they had no item there either. That's why Acrobatics did so much and Knockoff did so little. In comes Walking Meme. It's going to do a physical set with Aqua Jet. That does a lot of damage. It was like Life Orb. I'm going to go for a Lunge here. Lunge is actually going to drop the attack, which is pretty cool. What's that called? Oh, I get it, like Suicune and Suicune, like dinosaur, and you put Suicune together. I see. That's very clever. Next Pokemon we're going to bring in here is going to be my Scream Tail. They're going to go for a Dragon Ant here, so boosting the attack because, let's be real, Walking Meme doesn't exactly have a lot of attack after a -1. I think it does an alright amount, but, nothing super amazing. So I'm going to be going for a Howl here. That's going to boost up my attack and special attack. So now I can use a physical or a special move. I can opt to go for a Play Rough. Now the Terra, I forgot about that. The Terra was Terra Fairy. The Terra was Terra Ground on Toadstool. The Terra was Ghost on Fluttermane. The Iron Moth was Terra Fire. Arboliva was Terra Normal. And the Iron Leaves was Terra Grass on the Giga Ray. So go for the Play Rough there, and there's no way Suicune on legs is going to be able to lift that one. So we got 2 more Pokemon left. Oh, we got the Spupa. So Spupa comes out. Like, you watch this, right? I went for a Psychic. Spupa takes it with ease. It lived it. And I got a special defense drop there. So I thought, you know what I'm going to do here? I like how it uses Poison Powder. It sort of sticks its little spikes out. I'm going to go for a Disrespect Drain Punch here and get some health back. So I know that I resist that, but I got a +1 on attack. And it's so bulky of Everlight. It actually managed to live by Drain Punch. And now it's going to go for a String Shot. So I probably should have gone for Psychic there just to get rid of it. But, that amazing thumping bulk of Spupa really did surprise me there. I guess that's why that's called Armageddon. So we've got a Spupa down. We've got, what do we got left? 2 more Pokemon. We've got the one unknown Pokemon yet to see, or unknown moveset. So I'm going to take some poison damage there. Next Pokemon to come out here is going to be Klefki. I'm like, all right, fair enough. Klefki is going to go for a Calm Mind. So like, well, I guess I can try and just get as much damage off with this before I faint, So I Calm Mind Klefki. I'm going to go for Drain Punch. It is going to get me a little bit of health back, but it's really not doing a lot of damage. Now, the EVs I gave this were max health, but with 65 base and attack, Screaming Tail it doesn't really hit hard. You know what I'm saying there? So the Poison Powder is starting to get too much for my poor Screaming Tail. Stored Power seems to be the set this Klefki is all based around, like Calm Mind, Stored Power. The good thing is here, I do have a lot of health and bulk, special bulk there. 115 base is nothing to sneeze at with 115 health on the top of that too. So this Klefki is going to be easily able to take me out here with the Stored Power soon. I managed to get half its health down, which is pretty good there. So I might be able to go for like a Hex or something with my Fluttermane afterwards. So that's the end of Scream Tail. So Stored Power Klefki. Very, very scary stuff there. It's not bad on Klefki because it's got some good bulk, So we're going to go into my Fluttermane. I'm going to go for a Fake Tears here and drop the special defense. And then I can go for like a Hex or a Hex or anything like that. A Thunder Wave and then Hex. So I'm going to go for another Fake Tears because it's not like they're going to swap out with all the boosts up here. Now it's going to go for a Draining Kiss. The good thing is I've got 135 base special defense, so I am able to live these attacks pretty nicely. So now I'm going to go for a Thunder Wave here, and when I go for Hex after that, it's going to do double base damage because this thing's got virtually all of its health back there with a Draining Kiss. So here comes the Hex, double base damage, and that is going to take the Klefki out in one shot, which is awesome. 2 minutes left in this battle here. Last Pokemon is Milkshake, the early riser. And it turned out to be a Choice Scarf Wing Attack set. And that is the end of my Fluttermane. Oh, so that was a close battle there at the end. Thank you for the battle, and I hope you enjoyed it, people. I'll catch you next time. Peace out.